Today we're going to be making a vegan chicken broth base that is incredibly easy to put together, jam-packed with nutritious herbs and spices to boost and support the immune system, and it tastes absolutely delicious. So we're going to start off with our protein base using some nutritional yeast. We're going to add in some granulated onion powder, and this is going to increase the vitamin C content as well as give us some flavor. And the star of the show is going to be our turmeric, which is a great antioxidant, great anti-inflammatory, plus it's going to give us tons of flavor and color. We're going to go on to some garlic, which has tremendous cardiovascular benefits. Also, it's going to add a ton of flavor. This is some Himalayan pink sea salt, which has 84 minerals and trace elements. That's great for the body. We're going to add some thyme, some dried parsley, and some rosemary. All three of these are excellent anti-inflammatory herbs and great for the digestion. We're going to also add some sage and some celery seed. You want to make sure to get the seed and not the salt. Both of these are great for cardiovascular benefits and help control the blood pressure. Now we can choose between black pepper and white pepper, whichever one you choose. The white pepper is a little milder, the black pepper a little more spicy, but it does potentiate the benefits of the turmeric, and it actually increases the absorption in the turmeric by as much as 2,000%. Now, these might seem like a lot of ingredients, but please do not be intimidated by that. Most of these you already have in your kitchen cabinets, and everything is easily found at your local supermarket. So feel free to swap out any that you don't like. If you have any medical concerns that prohibit you from ingesting any of these, please check with your provider to make sure that they're safe. But generally, herbs and spices, they're natural and they don't cause too many problems. Because these are different textures, some of them are more coarsely ground, some of them are more finely ground. We're going to want a more consistent product, so I'm going to take the coarse ones and just break them down a little bit using this coffee grinder. If you do have a spice mill, you can use that instead, but the coffee grinder works just fine. If you don't have either one of those, you can always go the old-fashioned route and use this mortar and pestle. Just give it a little elbow grease, grind it up until you get a consistency that you like. Now, if you really want to bust a sweat, you can really get it a lot finer than this, but for depending on what you want, you really don't have to grind it at all. You could just throw it in there if you don't mind it to be coarser consistency. This next step is completely optional. You can just put everything in a bowl and mix it up together and you would be done at this point. But I want mine to be more of a powdery consistency so that it can break down a lot quicker when I put it in the hot water. I don't have to cook it as long. So I'm going to go ahead and add all the rest of the herbs and spices to this. You don't have to portion everything out individually like I have here. I just wanted to show you basically the quantities approximately that I'm using of each one, but I will leave the recipe down in the description box. I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper to this. And I'm going to just give it a little zhuzh. This only takes about maybe 30 seconds to a minute to get it like this. See how it's powdery and nice and all the herbs are well distributed throughout. Gives you more consistent product. Now to store it, you're going to want to use a glass container. Make sure it has a lid that screws on pretty tightly. You can use an amber container. This will extend the shelf life considerably because it helps keep out the light. It does a great job at that. So you really don't have to buy these expensive jars. You can always use the old jelly jars or spaghetti jars. Just save them, wash them, and make sure they're nice and clean, and use them to store your spices in. The reason why I like the glass rather than plastic is because plastic over time has chemicals in it that can leach into your food. So just for safety, I prefer to use the glass. So we're going to go ahead and reconstitute this. You need about a tablespoon or so. You can put more or less depending on how you like it, but you can use about 8 to 10 ounces of boiling water. And what this is going to do is to soften it up a little bit and just help everything combine a lot better. And you're going to do this just like you would a tea. You want to leave it to sit a little bit just so that you don't scorch the heck out of yourself when you're trying to taste it. Now, I deliberately did not put a lot of salt in this. I like the option of being able to control the salt, so whenever I'm making other dishes that has other ingredients that may be a little salty, I don't have to worry about how much of this I use. Right now it's tasting pretty good, so we're going to go out to the garden and I'm going to show you how you can add some fresh herbs to this to really just make this an immune system building powerhouse. We're going to cut off some parsley, and I have a little fresh chives there. And you can use anything, basil, rosemary would be great. You can add some fresh chopped garlic to this, that would be excellent. Now you notice that I did put some dry parsley, and I'm putting the fresh parsley in there, not only because the flavors are different, but the properties in the herbs change when you dry them out. Some get stronger and some weaken, so in order to get the best of both worlds, I like to put both fresh and dry herbs in my dishes. I'm going to add a little bit extra salt to this to bring it up to taste, and to increase the anti-inflammatory properties, I'm going to add some cayenne pepper and some red pepper flakes. Now this is going to give you a little bit of heat, and you can just imagine if you had a cold or a sinus infection or anything like that, how soothing this would be to have a nice hot cup of this. Now that we got the flavors exactly where we want them, it's time to plate it up. We're going to add a few crackers on the side and give it a nice little garnish. And there you have a nice, hot, nutritious cup of broth that will rival anything that is meat-based. If you like this recipe, I hope you give it a try. I hope you share it with your friends and family. And please let me know in the comment box what you think of it. And if you have any suggestions of other dishes that you'd like to see me use this broth in, it's a perfect replacement for anything that calls for chicken or vegetable broth. So I hope you try it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And come on back and see us and find out what we're going to put on the red mat next. Thanks for watching.